Did your mom ever call Dan Markel any disparaging names?
She did.
Including piece of shit,
Yes.
asshole,
Yes.
a narcissist,
Yes.
a bully,
Yes.
a bastard?
Yes.
She hated Charlie. She hated Danny too, but she didn't want him to be killed. It's still the father of her children, for God's sake. You must follow the law. The law says...
Glorious. Is it a lawsuit? Probably. Why not?
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Buckle Up, It's the Law with attorney Larry Forman. Folks, today we are going to continue Wendi Adelson's testimony in Donna Adelson's trial. She is the daughter of Donna. She is testifying under immunity. She is saying things that her mother does not like. You can almost see how teary-eyed Donna was in the previous video, and you're going to see her probably getting teary-eyed again in this video. The judge admonished Donna that she must control her emotions, she must control her behavior before the jury, and so far she has complied with those demands from the court. So let's continue with the direct examination of Wendi Adelson as she testifies about the horrific events leading up to Dan Markel, her ex-husband, and the father of her children's brutal assassination. Let's go.
This particular email, so this is a little confusing, but she responds paragraph by paragraph, K3, K5, K6, referencing Dan Markel's email to you and refuting each paragraph. And she felt that his position was outrageous, right?
Yes.
And she thought his religious practices were extreme. Didn't she?
She did, yes.
She was extremely concerned about the well-being of the children in reference to his religious practices.
Yes.
She wanted a psychological evaluation of Mr. Markel.
Yes.
He didn't need a psychological evaluation, did he?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Objection?
Was he an extremely
Opinion?
intelligent, accomplished law professor?
Yes.
Did your mom ever call Dan Markel any disparaging names around this time frame?
She did.
Okay, including piece of shit,
Yes.
asshole,
Yes.
a narcissist,
Yes.
a bully,
Yes.
a bastard.
Yes.
Did your mom help you prepare for your meetings with your divorce lawyer?
My mom offered help, but I don't think I needed help preparing for meetings with my divorce lawyer.
Who was your divorce lawyer?
Kristen Adamson.
Your mom, in an email dated January 9th, 2013, indicates that she thinks the job opportunities that you had in South Florida was a major bargaining chip in your divorce. Did you agree with that?
Did I agree with it at the time?
Yes.
I don't remember.
And she did a lot of work sort of making arguments to that point, didn't she?
I believe so.
And did you forward your correspondence with your lawyer to your mother?
I did.
Publishing 64. I'm going to skip to J. She wanted to be kept informed, right?
Yes.
Your mom mentions, let's see if I can find it. This is 64G, your South Florida legal team. She will try to remember to discuss things with your South Florida legal team. Who is that?
I think she was jokingly referring to herself.
Oh, she's the South Florida legal team.
I don't know who else it would have been. I think that's why there's a smiley face. I think it was a joke.
Okay. More questions for your upcoming hearing with your attorney. Did you forward your mom's questions or ask your mom's questions when you met with your attorney?
Probably not all of them, but if there was something that I thought was useful, I probably forwarded it or had a conversation about it.
And here you can see in paragraph 2, your mom referred to Dan Markel as Gibbers as well, right?
It was a silly name, yeah.
Let's go to the order denying your petition to relocate. Was your mom aware that the order was filed?
Yes.
Okay. And this is language from the order denied with prejudice, meaning you can't re-raise it, right?
Right, you can't refile.
And your mom wanted to fight the decision, didn't she?
She did.
Did you feel railroaded by her in this email where she's kind of bullying you to keep fighting?
Please rephrase your question.
Did you feel railroaded by your mother?
No.
Okay, but she wants you to continue to take action.
It was denied. I wasn't taking any more action.
Not any more legal action.
Oh, yeah. Well, hold on. Slow down. You were not taking any more action. That is a very powerful phrase. It may be her subconscious actually revealing to us, if I may say so, that again, she had no level of involvement in this conspiracy. I'm telling you folks, I can smell blood in the water, usually. I'm a criminal defense attorney. I read people for a living. I read witnesses for a living. I read cops for a living. I listen to my clients and read them for a living. A lot of you know I have a nose for deception. I'm not always right, believe me. I know I've been wrong before. But that phrase, I wasn't going to take any more action, is that again a plea to innocence? My head is still spinning. I need more.
I was not taking any more action of any kind.
Didn't your mom have some other ideas for some other actions that could happen?
She did.
She did want to take it to an appeal. Do you remember that?
Actually, I don't remember, but
That's on tab 43 of your binder.
yes, I see.
Okay, but she also wanted to develop this plan of action that could be implemented between the time you learned of the relocation denial and your final hearing in court to maybe strong-arm Mr. Markel into agreeing to the relocation. Do you remember that email?
Yes.
Okay, and she had some ideas for how to do that, right?
Yes.
And she said Gibbers hasn't beaten the Adelson family yet. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So what was her plan of action? What did she suggest you could do to get Dan Markel to relent and let you take his kids to South Florida?
She suggested that I pretend that the boys had
torture.
become Christian.
Psychological torture.
Is that something you would ever consider doing?
No.
She was going to pay for them to get instruction on the Christian faith, right?
That was what she said.
And she said she looked into it and she could get them baptized in a couple weeks. Do you remember that?
I don't remember, but I'm sure it's here.
Do you remember her imploring you to put on a good act?
I do.
I remember this.
Did your mom, I don't know, do you have any acting training?
No.
Do you know why your mom would Google how to teach an actress emotion?
I don't. I don't know.
Did she ever share with you or forward you any tips on how to bring emotion or fake emotion?
Not that I remember of any kind.
All right. What about a financial offer? Was that part of it as well?
Yes.
What was the financial offer to be?
I think it was $1 million.
Who was going to pay the $1 million?
My mom, my dad, and my brother.
And they were going to pay $1 million. You didn't have to pay any of it?
I don't remember having to pay any of it.
Okay. And they were going to give Dan Markel $1 million for what?
So that I could relocate.
Okay. Did you ever make that offer to Dan Markel?
No.
To your knowledge, did anyone make it to him?
I don't think so.
Would it have worked?
I don't think so.
She's all about getting control from Dan Markel, right?
Children.
Yes.
He wasn't just gonna hand them over
You
for $1
told
million.
her.
Can you imagine? kids being raised, and then she would use that against him, like, oh, did you guys know your dad got $1 million in exchange for abandoning you? And they're going to be raised with that idea in their heads. I mean, that's just diabolical. That's just obscene.
These ideas were crazy, didn't you?
I did.
I will not be introducing my children to Christianity. I truly believe it will backfire.
Again, Your Honor, the prosecutor is testifying and leaving.
As the counsel testifying and sustained, please make sure you're asking open-ended questions to the witness. Ms. Kappelman,
I'm reading from State's Exhibit 64V, which is in evidence.
please proceed.
Did you say it would backfire?
Yes, those are my words.
And what did you mean by backfire?
I don't remember, but I can
gonna
read
affect the
there
kids.
below what I was saying.
Hello? Anyone?
Did it
Bueller?
have to do with this will give him ammunition to pursue things in court?
I might have meant that at
What
the time.
about affecting
Did
the
your
kids?
mom respect your decision not to use her suggestions?
The children are being raised in a certain faith. All of a sudden, they're changing faiths? They're going to be very, very confused as to what is happening. Like, Mom, why did we do this? And then they're going to go to school and they're going to tell their friends, like, yeah, I was baptized over the weekend. And they'll go, oh, so are you Catholic now? And they'll go, I don't know. Mom says I'm not, but then why did you do it? Like it's going to confuse those poor kids. Donna is not thinking at all about the children. All she's thinking about is herself. So much is obvious.
I mean, she had to have, right? I'm a grown-up.
Mm-hmm. She kept pushing, though, didn't she?
She was suggesting other ideas.
Okay. January 27th, 2013 email 64W. Charlie brought up a good point when he said that Americans were dropped behind enemy lines during World War II wearing Nazi uniforms to get what they wanted. They had a job to get done, and they did what they needed to do to accomplish it. You have a job to get done and a very short time frame to accomplish it. If you dressed your kids up in Hitler Youth uniforms and brought them down here, I could care less if it was an act of defiance and would show Jibbers that he's not in control. Did she suggest
What?
that to you?
Yes.
She urged you to rethink your decision not to implement her suggestions, didn't she?
Yes.
She wanted you to do an act of defiance that will put a scare into this jackass. Why would she want to scare Mr. Markell?
So that he would let me relocate, I guess.
She says here, and I'm still on 64W, I don't know how much of the big picture you're seeing, honey. I don't know if you can realize that not only what you can provide for your boy's life, but for your own life, all depends on this change. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So she did view this as a very serious matter, right?
Yes.
And she's sending all of this after the relocation is denied, right?
Yes.
Everyone has a price. Fight for yourself. Okay, I'm showing you this slide also from Exhibit 64W, which indicates that you were going to go into the $1 million offer as a third. Does that refresh your memory on that deal?
I mean, it refreshes my memory, but it's not something I ever considered or thought about doing.
So you would not have paid up the
No.
third of $1 million?
No.
Moving on to 64X. This is an email in which your mom expresses opinions on several items, including the marital home, the parenting schedule, alimony, child support, health insurance. Did you want her opinion on all these things?
I mean, I don't remember, but I think we always want our parents' opinion on things, even if we don't take it.
Sorry, Your Honor, I can't hear.
Please restate your answer.
counselor asked me if I wanted my mom's opinion on those things, and it's hard for me to remember at the time if I wanted other opinions, but I said, I guess, people always want their parents' opinions on things.
And your mother's opinion was that she wanted you to aggravate your ex-husband, right?
Yes.
To screw him financially,
Yes.
to get a win.
Yes.
She thought your divorce was something to be won, right?
It seems that way.
When was the divorce final?
It would have been final the summer of 2013.
July 31st of 13 sound right?
Yes, ma'am.
And we saw that that was the date for your trial. Did a trial take place?
Yes.
Okay. With witnesses being called?
No, there weren't any witnesses.
Okay, so it was a settlement.
Yes.
And did you reach the settlement on the day that the trial was supposed to be conducted?
I think maybe the day before.
Okay. I want to ask you some questions about voice authentication. Your cell phone, was it collected by police in this case?
I gave the police my cell phone to search.
Let them download it and return it to you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you familiar with a wiretap that was conducted in this case?
I've seen a lot of wires.
Where phone calls were intercepted by the police and recorded by the police?
Yes.
And were you asked to listen to a disc of calls to see if you could authenticate the voices on those
Yes.
discs? Okay. And were you able to authenticate some of the voices on there?
I was able to authenticate the voices of my family.
All right, so Charlie Adelson, Donna Adelson, Harvey Adelson.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and did you initial on States Exhibit 135 by each of those voices that you were able to authenticate?
I did.
Certainly can't read this, but
It's very small.
see if that's
Yes.
That's where you initialed. Okay.
I did.
This time I'd ask to introduce States Exhibit 135.
Any objection? I'm asking if there's an objection to the defense. States 135 is entered.
After the divorce was final, was there any more litigation between you and Dan Markell?
There was.
All right, and who was the first one to file something after the divorce was final?
I don't remember who was first to file.
Because you both filed some things afterwards, right?
Well, Danny was supposed to pay me for the deal with our settlement was I was supposed to take my name off the title to the house, and he was supposed to pay me half the value of the house. So I went that first week and took my name off the title and then just waited. And when I reached out, when it was time for him to pay what he owed, he said, "I'm not going to pay it." And I asked why, and he said, "I have my reasons." And so my attorney had to file to enforce the settlement agreement because otherwise he was going to be held in contempt of court.
The court had given him a deadline to make the payment, and he didn't make it.
He didn't make it.
So you filed a motion to enforce,
The settlement agreement.
and he filed a counter motion saying, well, I'm not paying because she's in violation for all these different things. Remember that?
I do. And then he accused my attorney of committing fraud.
Right. One of his big complaints was failure to facilitate the communication agreement, where I guess you all had some type of agreement to provide Skype calls with the kids to each other when you didn't have the children. Do you remember him complaining about that?
I do. I remember if I was 1 minute late, he would contact the parenting coordinator and complain that I was in violation.
That was a pretty regular complaint of his in this era of these filings, wasn't it?
Yes.
And when he sent an email, for example, 64N, alleging these sorts of violations and including, quote, accusing you and your mother of making zero efforts to facilitate communication between he and the kids, did you forward this email to your mother?
I don't remember if I did or not.
And during this time period, did Dan Markell send you quite a few emails pleading with you to play nice? For example, March 7th of 2013, Wendy, I really regret that things have gotten to the place where they are. Do you think we could try to resolve more issues directly with each other to prevent so much of the unnecessary tension and cost? Things like that.
Yes.
Okay. But then you didn't seem to be able to actually play nice with each other, even though it seems like maybe that's both what you wanted, at least at certain points.
I was always trying to play nice.
Well, you were threatening to hold him in contempt of court.
I wasn't threatening to hold him in contempt. That's what my lawyer filed. That's what happens
Well,
when
your
you...
lawyer represents you, doesn't she, Mrs. Adelson?
She does, but I wasn't threatening him.
Did you cease all Skype communication between Dan Markel and the boys on March 12th of 2013?
I don't remember that, no.
Tab 54, please.
It looks like my attorney advised me to do that.
Did you cease all Skype conversations between Dan Markel and the boys?
Again, I don't remember. It's been a very long time. But if my attorney advised me to do it, then I probably did it.
Okay. And the day that you filed that motion to enforce the marital settlement agreement and hold Dan Markel in contempt, see if I can find that. What was the date of that filing?
It looks like it was October 31st, 2013.
Was that the same date that you backed out of the contract to buy a house here in Tallahassee?
I don't remember if it was the same date, but at that point I didn't have the money I needed to buy the house because Danny didn't pay what he was supposed to.
Okay, but you don't remember which day you backed out of buying the house?
I don't.
Could it have been the same day that this was filed? Halloween of 13?
It may have been.
Okay, and was it Charlie, your brother, who talked you out of buying the house?
No, I didn't have the money to buy the house.
So you don't remember him discussing that with you?
No.
Okay. And did your mom have a position one way or the other on whether you would buy the house?
I don't remember.
The image that I just had up there, was this image sent to you on October 31st? How did this get onto your cell phone dated October 31st?
It looks like something my brother would have sent me at some point. I don't remember if it was what day it was, but I remember seeing that picture.
Okay, do you have any reason to dispute the metadata associated with it on your phone?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and you recognize your brother in this photo?
I do.
And who's the woman he's pictured with here?
Katie.
Is that Catherine McBanoa?
Yes.
So did your brother at any time send you this picture? Not at any time. Did your brother on October 31st send you this picture and basically tell you not to buy the house because you weren't going to be living in Tallahassee much longer?
I don't remember him ever telling me not to buy the house or that I wasn't going to be living in Tallahassee. I really wanted to buy that house.
So basically, the plot thickens. Don't buy the house. You're not going to be living in Tallahassee much longer. I met Katie. Katie's got connections. I will help you take care of this problem. Again, Wendy may have knowledge. Her failure to act may impose criminal action against her. So we know she knew. But again, participation, I think, is essential for law enforcement to want to prosecute her. You know what I mean? And for prosecutors to want to prosecute her, I mean, with the help of law enforcement. So maybe Wendy began at the end of 2013 to become on notice that, hey, all of this is going on, and what is he planning? What is he plotting? Why would Charlie send her a photo of himself and Katie? Because Katie's got the connect in the, Cuban community or whatever he said in the hot tub to Jeff at the time. But again, knowledge, is that the same as participation? Is that the same as involvement? You might be sitting on the other end of this TV going, well, it was her responsibility to go and report it immediately to law enforcement. Yes, but how certain is she that this is actually moving forward, first? And second, even when it all came crashing down June, July of 2014, leading up to the murder, their family, she was protecting family. So, it's so hard. It's so hard to sift through this. There's a lot, folks. Let's keep going. There's so much more. We're barely halfway through.
Do you remember after all the drama with the Skype, asking your mom, let's see if I can find it here, to help you work on the Skype thing because it was becoming a real problem between you and Mr. Markel.
I honestly don't remember, but I see this email and I must have sent this.
And then a few months later, in February of 14, Mr. Markel files a motion to enforce marital settlement agreements, and that we touched on that already. That was alleging that you committed fraud on the court during the original settlement. Remember that?
I do. I remember him saying that my attorney helped perpetrate a fraud.
He did. He suggested that the court should send a strong message to you about your malfeasance by awarding him the entirety of the assets that he alleged were undisclosed. Do you remember that?
I do.
And did your mom view that filing?
I don't remember.
Isn't that the one she responded to? We need a plan of attack. We need to aggravate him the way he's trying to aggravate you.
I remember we just looked at that. I just didn't remember what it was in response to.
Okay. And did you respond to his allegations?
I wouldn't.
In court? In a court filing?
We must have responded in a court filing to that,
Okay.
because if someone accuses you of fraud, at that point my attorney had to recuse herself because she had to become a witness in the case and to say that that didn't happen. And then I had to find a new attorney to represent me.
Okay, and did you do a filing in response to his counter motion to enforce the marital settlement agreement, alleging, and this is page 439 for court and counsel, that a vast majority of the former husband's motion contains allegations that are redundant, immaterial, impertinent, and scandalous? That sort of language, does that sound familiar?
It doesn't actually sound familiar, but I would have responded in a motion, so I'm sure my attorney filed something.
Did your mom move around this time?
I don't think so.
Do you remember your parents signing a lease at a place called the Continuum?
My parents were spending some time there on the weekends, but they didn't move until 2015 when I was clerking for a judge at that time.
All right, so they signed a lease to have sort of a weekend property. Was that in South Beach?
Yes.
Okay, and that does March of 14 sound right for that?
I don't remember when they signed a lease there, but it's possible.
Well, when you ultimately left Tallahassee, which we'll get to, did you go to live at the Continuum or at Coral Springs or somewhere else?
In Miami at the Continuum.
And do you know why they chose to move into the Continuum? I mean, this is about 3-4 months before the murder.
My brother had a girlfriend that lived there, and he really liked the property, and he thought maybe my parents might like to retire there. So he was suggesting that they start trying someplace other than Coral Springs to retire.
And did your mom add you as a resident to the Continuum on May 16th of 2014?
I don't remember that.
Wouldn't it have been like such a much easier solution? I know. Hindsight 2020 and blah, blah, blah. I know. But hear me out. What if Donna and her husband moved to Tallahassee to retire? Problem solved. The family's together in Tallahassee. Does it have to be? South Florida is hot. It's humid. It sucks. You know, you want to go there in the winter? Sure. You know, a lot of snowbirds go down, especially Canadians. I know they come down to Florida. My biological grandfather, by the way, who passed away in 2016, at the end of 2016 or beginning of 2017. I remember I didn't get to know him much. He divorced my grandmother many years ago, back in the 70s. But I got to know him a very, very, very little bit. And I remember they used to go to they used to go to Florida all the time. In the winter, because Canada sucks in the winter. Florida's awesome in the winter. Florida sucks in the summer. It's just really scorching hot down there. Why not just retire in Tallahassee? Problem solved. The family's together. Do you really have to kill To be happy? It just makes... I don't understand anything here. I just don't get it.
To the Continuum, the apartment complex had very high security, and so it may have been that if you wanted someone to come and not be considered a guest, they had to be considered a resident.
Okay, tab 95, please. And the question is, would you have been considered a resident as of May 16th of 2014?
And I don't know, so you want me to see whether on this document I was added as a resident?
Yes, ma'am.
It looks like I was added and my brother were added. And then my other brother was the in case of emergency, and it was in April of 2014.
April of 2014. Okay, so about 3 months before the murder?
Yes,
And that was just so that you could come and go whenever you were visiting.
that was my understanding.
Do you recall a motion being filed by Dan Markell that we've referred to as the grandma motion?
No,
Did Dan Markell in March 26th of 2014 file a motion seeking to preclude your mother from having unsupervised contact with your kids?
I don't remember him filing that motion, but it sounds like if it's a motion you have a name for, then it exists.
And in that motion, do you recall, or does it refresh your memory, that he was saying, Grandma, the boys were telling him, Grandma says you're stupid, Grandma says she hates you, and as a result, he was concerned about your mom alienating the kids or turning the kids against him?
I remember hearing about this motion.
Okay. And that is a motion that was never got to be heard, right?
That was part of the motion to enforce the settlement agreement,
But which was never heard
which was never heard
because he was killed.
because, yes.
And do you remember why you didn't forward your mom the actual motion that was filed in reference to that?
I don't.
Okay, if you will check see if you can find tab 98 in the back there, please.
I have tab 98.
Okay, does it refresh your recollection as to the question, which is, where was your mom on the day that the relocation was filed, which for your reference was 3/26/14.
So this email is from 3/25/14, and it looks like my parents were coming up. It says coming on Thursday, and this was written Tuesday the 25th, so my guess is that they were coming on Thursday the 27th.
And was it their practice to typically stop in Orlando and spend the night on the trip up to Tallahassee?
I don't remember.
Okay. The allegations that are laid out in Dan Markell's motion were sent to you in an email before the motion was ever filed. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that, no.
In Publishing 64AA, a December 16th, 2013 email. This email indicates that Dan Markell is going to be introducing a major issue, grandparental alienation. This will be part of our ongoing effort to resolve outstanding issues, but basically at the bottom there, Ben announced to me ABBA. What does ABBA mean?
It's Abba. It means father in Hebrew.
Father, Grandma says you're stupid. Okay, and he details a couple, I think it's 3 different instances in which his boys have told him that Grandma, your mother, has told them that you're trying to take my sunshines away, she hates you, that sort of thing. Does this refresh your memory at all about those allegations?
It does.
And this email, you did forward this email to your mother. Do you recall that?
I don't recall that, but it makes sense that I would have.
And your mom responded to it, or someone responded to it, wow. Do you remember that?
I was shown that email yesterday.
Okay. And you forwarded that email not only to your mom, but to a total of 12 different people. Do you remember that?
I remember being very surprised that he was trying to accuse a member of the Florida bar of fraud and going to all these lengths to avoid paying money that he owed me.
Okay. And is that the reason why you sent it to the 12 people?
It was pretty shocking what he was doing.
Did your mom respond at all to that allegation regarding her alienating the kids?
I don't remember a response other than the one I was shown that said wow, but I don't know if that was my dad responding or my mom responding.
But the allegation was in reference to your mom, right?
The allegation was in reference to my mom.
Okay. And in fact, the next day, because the parenting coordinator was in on the original thread, you forwarded the email a second time to your mom, didn't you, with the parenting coordinator's response. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that, but it makes sense that I would have forwarded it.
Do you remember just a couple months before the death of Dan Markell saying to a friend of yours, I think her name is Jane, does that sound familiar?
I had a friend named Jane.
Telling Jane, quote, Danny is a monster?
Overruled, the witness may testify based on her memory.
I don't remember telling Jane that I thought Danny was a monster.
Okay, was Jane one of the people you forwarded the email to? Dan's email?
I don't remember.
Okay. But it was the same day that you called him a monster. Do you remember that?
I don't.
I want to talk a little bit about your brother, Charlie.
Here we go.
Judge, I don't know if you're wanting a recess, this is a good time. It's getting a little tedious, I'm sure.
Everyone can be seated. Ms. Kappelman, you may resume with your examination of the witness.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Adelson, I want to ask you a little bit about your brother, Charlie Adelson. How is he older or younger than you?
I'm the youngest of the 3 children, so both my brothers are older than me.
How much older than you is Charlie?
He's 2.5 years older.
And in the time frame 2013 to 2014, how much time were you spending with Charlie Adelson?
I don't remember spending a lot of time with him. I was in Tallahassee most of the time, and he was in South Florida most of the time.
Did you speak with Charlie regularly during that time?
We did.
What type of lifestyle did your brother have around the time frame 2014 to 2016?
My brother was a single guy. He was dating lots of people. He worked really hard till early in the morning till late at night, sometimes 6 or 7 days a week.
Worked hard, played hard?
Yeah, I think that was kind of his lifestyle.
Did he like nice things?
He
Fancy
did.
cars?
He liked nice cars. He liked nice food.
Did you, during the phone conversations you had with your brother during that time, did you talk much about your marital problems?
I mean, to be honest, I don't remember, but I'm sure we talked about it.
Is it fair to say during the year or so leading up to Mr. Markell's murder that your brother did not like him?
I think that's fair to say.
Did your brother joke about hiring a hitman to kill Dan Markell?
He did make that joke.
What was the joke specifically?
My brother had bought me a TV as a divorce present, and he would make the joke that the TV was cheaper than hiring a hitman.
Did you ever...
Okay, real quick, I want to talk about the TV for a minute because I'm starting to get a few dots are starting to connect in my head. Remember, Jeff testified, and we've heard previously in opening statements that the TV was broken. Somebody punched the TV. Here's my theory. Charlie buys a TV for his sister, Wendi, as a divorce present because it's cheaper than hiring a hitman to take out Danny. As the plan is set in motion to take out Danny, and hitmen are actually hired by Charlie, and let's just go ahead and say it, Aunt Donna, to take out Danny so that Wendi, Charlie's sister and Donna's daughter, can move to South Florida to be with them. What if Wendi was so upset at this whole situation let's just theorize for a minute, hypothesize, that it was her who punches the TV out of anger and frustration and helplessness that she has no say in the matter. They're going to kill her ex-husband, whether she likes it or not. Remember I mentioned the whole, she's going to take a back seat to the whole interaction, to the whole conspiracy? I'm not saying that's how it happened, but I'm saying it is possible, and it's starting to smell like it. And because the TV was a gift from Charlie, and she now probably despised Charlie for his plans, she was the one who punched the TV and broke it, because that TV was a reminder of Charlie's plans. And she hated the TV, she hated Charlie, she hated Danny too, but she didn't want him to be killed. Still the father of her children, for God's sake. You know, the children are now going to be growing up without a father if the plan is to take its course. I mean, this thing is going really deep, really, really deep, folks. There's a lot here, definitely a lot. So let's see, let's keep watching. Maybe it will be revealed. We still have a long way to go with her testimony.
Tell Jeffrey Lacasse about that joke.
I may have mentioned that joke to Jeff Lacasse.
Who is that?
Jeff Lacasse was someone that I dated after Danny and I got divorced.
Had he met your parents?
I think he may have met them once, but not in any kind of formal way. Just my parents were visiting and he might have said hi, something like that.
Did your parents express any opinion about him, whether they liked him or not?
I don't remember them really taking notice of him.
Do you remember sending a text back in May 28th of 2014 that saying, quote, "My parents are not into him," referring to Jeff?
I don't remember sending that text.
On the morning of the murder, did you have an appointment at your residence on Aqua Ridge?
I did.
What was the nature of that appointment?
I had an appointment with the Geek Squad. There were some vertical lines on the TV. I didn't know if maybe one of my kids had tapped it or touched it, but it wasn't working. And so I had an appointment, and they were scheduled to come sometime between 8 and 12.
Tapped it or touched it. That's a lie. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. The way Jeff described it, it was a clear impact, that spider web. And if you know anything about TVs, I personally have a little bit of experience with TVs, I'd like to say. And I have seen the level of impact that is required in order for a TV to lose pixels and for it to spider web out. That you need a hard impact. I mean, maybe it was one of the kids who did it. Sure, it's possible. But I don't know, that answer just doesn't make any sense. I don't buy it. And Jeff also testified that it looked like a 5 foot or 6 foot person. You know, you have to reach that high. She doesn't know that Jeff said that. You know, she may think that the jury might think it'll be like here, you know, like a 4 or 5 year old. The 4 or 5 year old don't have that much force unless they were throwing an object, which is possible. And in that case, my theory goes completely out the window and might as well flush it down the toilet. That's fine. It's just a theory. Who cares? Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
And was that the TV that was the same TV that your brother joked he got you as a divorce present because it was cheaper than hiring a hitman?
Yes.
Okay. And on the morning of the murder, did your mom text you about the TV repair guy being on the way or coming to your house?
She did. I didn't buy the TV, and the TV had an insurance policy that came with the Geek Squad help. So I think they reached out to her first, and then she let me know that they were coming.
But it doesn't cover intentional conduct. So I imagine when they came, they probably didn't fix it or replace it, because if they can detect that the conduct was intentional and the damage was done intentionally, or even accidentally it's probably covered. But if it's intentional, there's no coverage.
The TV was under warranty, right?
I believe so.
But the damage that you had was not covered by the warranty, was it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, see? There it is.
And do you recall how long the TV repairman was at your house?
I don't. It was a reasonable amount of time, so maybe an hour or so.
And why did it take an hour to determine that the TV couldn't be repaired or was not under warranty?
I don't know. I don't know a lot about AV equipment.
And the TV
you know exactly why it took so long. You needed your alibi. That's what you needed.
Guy, well, I guess I should ask, were you upset, crying and upset during the time that the TV repairman was there?
I don't think so.
Were you particularly upset about the TV The fact that the TV couldn't be repaired?
I don't think so.
Okay, so the TV guy, to your recollection, didn't actually do anything. He didn't fix the TV, didn't take it away, didn't bring you a new one.
No, he was trying to fix it. I mean, I think he was trying to assess what the problem was and if it could be fixed, but it wasn't taken away.
The problem was like an impact to the screen, right?
It seemed to be that, yeah.
Did you go to a dinner after the murder of Dan Markell in which you vomited at the table?
It was several weeks until I felt ready to leave my apartment. I was very, very scared.
So that happen?
It did happen.
Okay, and that was in a restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm. It was at a restaurant.
Who was present at that dinner?
It was my brother and me.
And where was the dinner?
It
South
was
Florida or here?
It was South Florida.
Okay, and you said it was several weeks after the murder?
I believe so.
Had you ever heard Charlie, your brother, refer to that dinner as a celebratory dinner?
Only in previous trials, but never to me personally.
Did you hear him say it the night that you had the dinner or after that?
No.
That you threw up at the celebration?
No.
Do you know Catherine Magbanoa?
I met her on 2 occasions.
Okay. Do you have an independent friendship with her, or did you just meet her through your brother?
I just met her through my brother.
Who was she to Charlie?
She was a person that he had dated.
Was she a serious girlfriend?
I didn't think so.
Did he have a lot of girlfriends that kind of came and went?
He had a lot of girlfriends, and they all looked somewhat similar.
Okay. I'm going to show you what's... One moment, Your Honors. Show you what I marked as 35.
It's an interesting statement. They all look sort of similar.
Do you recognize States 35?
I do.
How do you recognize it?
This was a visit. I went to the beach with Catherine and a friend of hers for about an hour.
Catherine Magbanoa?
Yes.
All right, and when was this photograph taken?
It was Father's Day weekend of June 2014.
So just about a month before the murder?
Yes.
And was this the first time you'd ever met Catherine Magbanoa?
It was the second time. The first time was at a dinner with my brother and with Jeff Lacasse when I was running an alternative spring break. I came down to visit.
Was that the dinner at Yardbird?
Yes.
Okay, we'll get back to that. So this was the second meeting?
Yes.
All right, Judge, move to introduce State's Exhibit 35.
Any objections?
No objection.
States 35 is admitted.
Which one is Catherine Magbanoa?
She's on the left with the white top.
Okay, and that's you in the center there?
That's me in the middle.
And this photograph, was it taken near your parents' residence in
It
South
was.
Beach?
Very close.
During that trip, were there any conversations with Catherine Magbanoa or your brother or your mother about the murder?
No.
Is Catherine Magbanoa the girlfriend that your brother had in this time frame leading up to the murder?
I believe so, but he had multiple girlfriends, so I don't know if she was the only one.
Okay, but that's definitely the one that you interacted with the month before.
Yes, ma'am.
Did anything stand out to you about this particular girl as being, you know, the one or special or different from the parade of girlfriends that
No.
Charlie had? Did your brother have girlfriends after this woman, Magbanoa?
Yes.
Okay, including, do you remember a Whitney?
I do remember Whitney.
And then there was June Mchinda,
Yes, I remember June.
a June Co, I think.
I remember Junko.
Okay. Prior to Dan Markell's murder, was this image taken at your trip to South Beach that was most recent before the murder?
No,
So you went down another time between this trip and the murder.
I did. I went down for my dad's birthday.
And when was that?
It would have been, his birthday was on July 5th. And so I was down, I don't remember the exact amount of time, but maybe 7 or 10 days over July 4th and for his birthday, and then went back to Tallahassee.
Did you run into Catherine Magbanoa at all on that trip?
I don't think so.
Any discussion with any members of your family about the murder on that trip?
No,
It was your dad's 70th birthday, right?
it was.
And was there a party?
We had a party.
Was that friends, family, both?
It was friends and family.
And I think, is this the trip that we were talking about earlier where your parents had come to Tallahassee to fetch you and take you down south?
Yes.
Was there any discussion on that trip about any other relocation strategies?
I don't have any memory of that.
Like bribing, converting to Christianity, any of those things?
It had been, I think, about a year since.
Since those were first broached.
Right, but I'm just saying by that time it was the summer of 2014. I don't remember any kind of conversation like that.
Okay. Was there any discussion on that trip of the pending motion that included precluding your mom from having unsupervised visits with your boys?
No.
Do you remember the time frame that the repairman was at your house on the morning of the murder?
I remember more or less. I feel like he came, I think he was supposed to come sometime between 8 and 12, and he came on the early side. Because I just remember being surprised and trying to get dressed really fast.
Okay, and Dan Markell was killed between 8 and 12, right? We know
He was.
that now. Who paid
Like
the
I said,
repairman that
alibi.
came to your house?
I think he was under contract, so I don't have a strong memory of that, but I don't remember paying him. It's possible that I did.
All right, folks, we're going to stop here. I mean, so much has come out in this testimony. There is so much to still unpack, both mentally and physically. For me, I don't know about you, but it's like, is knowledge enough? Just mere knowledge? I would say no. Is Wendi guilty of knowing about the fact that Danny was about to be assassinated? I think the answer is unequivocally yes. Otherwise, she wouldn't have such visceral reactions before and after the murder. Her failure to act, I mean, do they want to prosecute her for it? Probably not. Otherwise, they would have done it already. It's been 11 years. But is she guilty of the conspiracy? Once again, folks, I keep coming back. We still have 2 more episodes to go. We still have about an hour and a half left of pure testimony. Plus my commentary will be about a couple hours. We'll conclude that tomorrow, Labor Day. So happy Labor Day, everybody. I hope you all learned something. I hope you all are enjoying this. This is wild. This is absolutely wild. Don't forget to like this video. Comment below, subscribe to the channel so you get notified when I continue releasing these videos. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.